1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Test, test, test. Audio test as usual. Hello, 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 hello. Oh, lagging. Test, test, test. Ah, yeah, that's right. Which always lags for me. Hello. Yo, hello. Elixir. Cat. Zurion. How are we doing? Leah? We doing? How are we doing? Been a while. Well, it's been a week, but yeah. A few things have changed. So we'll talk about the progress in Blender in a moment. Just realizing I don't think I saved that reference in here because we installed PureRef last week. I have to remember where that medieval building was. Week 3, yeah. Uh, I've been modeling with that on. Back to this. And I remember, because I have Blender downstairs as well. I remember I didn't want World on because World was making flat faces have a gradient, which always me PTSD. How are we doing? How are we doing? See a lot of the regulars. See some new faces as well. How is everyone doing? It's very cold, at least in the UK. God, especially in my house. My house has radiators. Like it's all, my house is all electric, but there's radiators you turn on in certain rooms, and then when you go in between those rooms, it's like ice cold. Um, I'll check on. Oh, I didn't put the message up. I'm so bad at like putting out the message that I'm streaming on the Twitter. Yeah, it's really cold. Like up here is okay because there's a carpet. Downstairs, my sort of gaming room is in a conservatory, so it gets pretty cold. Get started in a moment. I'm gonna check the Discord because I did lose the concept from that guy, but I know that it was you, Leah, that posted the other people that were working on that concept, even though we're just doing a side of it. Scroll up. Remember the chat that I did? It was called like Yuri. Yo, Marcus. Marcus. Right. Twitter message is out. Most people join from YouTube, so if it's a repeating trend, like I said, we'll might go over to, we might keep it on YouTube instead of multi-streaming. Shall see. Righto. Let's have a gander. What are we doing this week? Well, we're learning Blender. As we have been using it off stream as well. Last week, funny issue actually. So, oh, here's my. Yeah, cool. Anyone that remembers last week, Blender was like just saving slow and it was crashing and the add-ons kept resetting. You remember it was being a bit weird and all that sort of stuff. I actually found out the reason for that because it just wasn't Blender. It was, you know, every time I would open up a Chrome tab, you know, there was a 30% chance that Chrome would, you know, stall for like 5-6 seconds. Actually, turns out it was malware bytes. So, because this is a fresh Windows 11 reinstall, malware bytes put. I've had malware bytes before, but they put the free trial of the what you call it, the real-time defender on, and it was just scanning everything. Like literally, that's why Blender wouldn't connect to the add-ons thing when we tried to get loot tools. That's why it took ages to save every now and again. It was just constantly scanning the computer. So yeah, malware bytes, potato, never again. And yeah, we're good to go now. So yeah, it was malware bytes. It wasn't some of the crazy stuff that we were expecting it to be. Go. All right, we're good. I found it. I'm going to actually save the PureF this time. Yo, Joe. So yeah, it was malware bytes with the real-time defender on free trial, just absolutely causing chaos. And it's one of those things, right? It's not happening all the time, but it's happening enough. So you know, if you have like there's a water droplet that you can hear, and it's every 3 minutes. It's not every second, but you know that every 3 minutes there's like some annoyance coming, right? So it was same sort of thing. So yeah, malware bytes was blocking and scanning stuff constantly. So that's why my system was always stalling every sort of few minutes. Yeah, strange. Like it's because it enabled all the premium options because obviously it gave me a free trial because it's a new Windows. Whereas if you just have it for the scanner, it doesn't usually do that crap. So yeah, so everyone's saying just keep Microsoft Defender. Yeah, I agree. It's just like something I had on there out of habit, really. So yeah, it's just it is what it is. But yeah, no stalling since then. No slow Chrome. Extensions tab connects on here, and all that sort of good stuff. So yeah, that's good. That is good. But yeah, using Blender a lot more. The Malwarebytes stuff helps a lot. Was also doing some other stuff on Blender downstairs throughout the week, but I figure when we stream, we may as well, keep a similar project going on. So yeah, week three, making some new stuff on Strum, and we'll see where we go from there. Let's see, Blender is rising. Yeah. Microsoft Blender. It's a good call. It is a good call. But yeah, as usual, we were first 2 hours, 2.5 hours, talking, chilling, doing stuff in Blender, slowly, and then last half hour we have. At this point, it's become like the regulars, right? The Patreon work. Some been seeing some really cool updates in the week on the Discord of that, so we'll be seeing that sort of stuff again. It'll be cool. So yeah. Other than that, let's keep vibing out and start making some stuff. As you know, we are making just the far right side of this building. We're blocking it out. We're taking it slow. And we're going to be using that to create videos on the main channel for blocking out and all that sort of stuff. It is something we do on stream. So, we're only touching this a few hours each week. So it's going to be very, very slow. But yeah. Are you a regular? You probably are. There is VOD evidence I can look back at to see if you were actually here. But yeah, I'd say you're a regular. If you've been here more than once, you're probably a regular. This is like coffee times. Is Blender better? Better than what? Better than life? I don't know. If you don't like how the modifier list is, yeah, I don't mind the modifier list. I have been using Control. I think it's Control 1. That was been my main go-to, but we're not doing sub D on the stream. That's been something else I've been working on in my own time, a small prop. So, but yeah, I'm sure there'll be more modifiers as we sort of go along as well, right? So. That sort of has. So what was the goal here? Yeah. Well, I was a Maya user for like most of my career. I'm a lighting artist now, so I don't really have a go-to program. The only reason I'm using Blender is because I don't want to pay, was it £350 a year just to be a hobbyist? And I figure I'm an environment artist, so I make boxes most of the time as a hobby, since I do lighting as a job. So why not? Why not? And yeah, the first week you can literally, what's fun about this journey is you can look back at the stream and you can see in the first week, I was in that sort of not denial, but I was gonna do all my own hotkeys to match Maya and all that sort of stuff. But we pretty much kept most of the hotkeys. We enabled a few things. We enabled the widgets, free mouse enumeration, emulation, which lets you use Alt. I have sort of been using this stuff as we've been going along. So yeah. Yeah, I think these are instants. I remember. Well, I usually don't instance because Maya was very painful when instancing. I'm sure Blender behaves much better for instancing. Um, so we are blocking out. Proportions aren't a huge deal at this stage. It's a very early block out. So what we need is we need the geometry in place, and then once the geometry is in place, we can essentially do the proportions, right? Because an arch is an arch. A friggin' a beam is a beam. Go away, sea cleaner, and vice versa. So we can do all that sort of good stuff. So yeah, someone told me last week, which I believe you could do this in Maya anyway, and I probably need it on my quick menu, which last week we did lose a lot of, unfortunately. That you can bridge between two faces and parametrically make it an arch, which sounds cool. So I just need to right click B, then down here, and then let's find the juice. So no, so we have to check our mesh, see what's going on. Let's cap back. What's the most important thing to keep in mind when becoming a lighting artist? Any list of curriculums? Craney, yeah, we have so I did a video a few weeks ago that links to a Excel document, and it is essentially the best online resources for lighting artists, categorized by sections. So you can find that on the channel. I need to find out how to set up like a YouTube. Just check Twitch actually, because no one has chatted on Twitch on the add-on, which means let me just check just in case someone did. But yeah, probably having a command bot on YouTube. So I can just do like exclamation mark lighting guide. But yeah, get some DLC stuff off the marketplace, off Fab, and yeah, okay. Start lighting it. If you're like just starting out, just start lighting visually, and then start looking at like the guides of how to light in more of a like accurate manner and stuff like that. Blender instancing is also funky. Yeah, in Maya I used to instance a lot, but after like the 7th instance, things would get really funky. And it would start breaking. So I generally just let Unreal do the instancing. That's why you have the modular kits, right? So okay, so we are bridging, but we are bridging the wrong way. We're not bridging in an arch. So question is, what is going on there? What we need to answer. Any takers in the chat? Why we're bridging to? It's like one face is the wrong way. What up, Renzo? How are we doing? I got to remember that thing Renzo told me actually. Yeah. So let's try again. Right click bridge. We should go up in an arch. And we go. It's like so have we got two faces on top of each other, or can we just remake the face? Let's have a go. And let's fill those faces. Go back. Right click bridge. And let's go up. Yep. So still fucked up. It's not the faces. That's one check. Interesting. Interesting. Do these two faces and see if we get the same result. Okay. So there's something about Mary, something going on with these faces. Wonder if it's because you are over there, which I wouldn't think so. Just remind me that we need to quick menu that. One cube is inside out. That's interesting because on back face culling, these are facing the right way. So very interesting. Oh, you mean the normals? Oh, interesting. So, we did instance that. So is this could be the instances fucking up already. So in overlays you can enable face orientation. That is near the measurement stuff. And is blue good? Is red bad? What does blue mean? Blue might be good? Question mark? Because the other area is good. Apply your scale. Yeah, I applied all transforms. I have that over here. So that should sort that out. Unless apply. So scale should come under all transforms, right? Or is that not the case? Blue good. Yeah. Yeah, usually backface culling tells you as well if you have stuff the wrong way around. At least in my experience, you never know with this stuff. So face is the right way. We've applied the transforms. Let's try again. Bridge and cut. Okay, so let's just see if Blender's fucked up, and let's do it ourselves. I'll do it myself. Final style. So well, okay. So it's probably got something to do with the fact that we joined two meshes that were previously instanced, maybe. But something is wrong with these two faces, which isn't as obvious. So we did all transforms, origin to geometry. So scale should come under that. Maybe it's scaled. What I don't know what this is. Scale to deltas. Never heard of that in my life. So just you know what? Scuffed mesh. We'll take it as it is. You can check if the scale is applied by clicking on the orange icon on the right hand side. Also orange above the modifier tab. 111. It's good though. It's good. We'll new cube. So hopefully today we'll get one face done with the arching, and kind of go from there really. Yeah, no idea. Sometimes software does that, right? You just make a new mesh. Well, actually, there used to be, maybe this is the case in Blender, right? There used to be this thing where if something really weird goes wrong and you're not sure what it is, if you make a new cube and you attach it to the problem geometry and then clear all the transforms, it usually fixes 99% of errors. So maybe that will be. But we know that two new cubes work either way, so we should be good. So how have you guys been doing? How are we? Yeah, the cube method. Yeah, it's a classic, right? Classic. Ah, nice. That's good to know, Jay. Yeah, 3D cursors is still the biggest weird one to me, coming from Maya. Sometimes I like it. Sometimes I just find it. If blank. Okay, cool. So we'll just stick this in for now, and then we'll worry about the proportions afterwards. And then we'll start applying some basic colors to this stuff. Oh, interesting. So with the new cubes, it did it again. So let's just have a look. Switch the interpolation to blend surface and the bridge edge. Ah, interesting. Go. Thanks, Matt. That's what I wanted. That's what it gave me. Didn't give it me by default. So that is so our mesh was clean. It was just Blender. So blend surface interpolation. So we were on what were we on before? We were on blend path. Interesting. So we need it to be what is it? Blend surface. I'll make a note of that. Thank you, Matt. Very good to know. So we want a good number. Apparently it was this. Oh shit! You can't see it on the stream because my face is in the way. No. Okay, can you kind of move this window? Apparently, so it's an option in the bottom left when you do the bridge modifier. Interpolation. Hold on. Face is blocking it. Get out of the way. How do I turn? Wait. There we go. This one. So by default, it was on blend path, which is why we thought the mesh was messing up. But that came out on default for me. So Matt said change it to blend surface, and we got the arch. So there we go. Problem solved. Thank you very much. Hey Fox, how you doing, buddy? Oh, I just turned. Oh, okay. Oh, I got to remember. YouTube. Okay, YouTube streaming is about 30 seconds behind the stream. Twitch is about 5 seconds. So if I've just shown you the solution, the chat is probably catching up still. So that's the only downfall of streaming on YouTube versus Twitch. More people tune in from the channel, but the chat is so delayed that it's difficult. How you doing, Fox? You good, buddy? That's good. We've made an arch pretty easily. That's good. Good. It's good. It's good. It's good. Both are fine. I stream on both. So there is the Twitch channel as well. I think they're both watchable quality. When we first started, the YouTube quality was really dodgy, but I upped the bit rate. But yeah, a lot of the regulars, well, a lot of people Heat saying regulars, they come on via the YouTube, right? So F not B. Do we want gummy bear mode? No, do you guys like the gummy bear mode where it's each a random color? Eventually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to color sample the base color off here and have like stuff as brown and all that jazz. Currently starting on the environment art journey. I learned 3ds Max on college, but thinking about Blender or Maya for environment art. Yeah, whatever. They're all good options, right? As a student, you'll get the ability to well, you use. It's best usually to use what your course offers you. Because if you, let's say your course teaches 3ds Max, and you're adamant to learn Blender, the problem you're gonna get is the content won't be in Blender, and you might struggle to get lecturer help. So it's up to you when you take that sort of route if you want to do that, but it can be an option. So something to keep in mind. Welcome back, Renzo. Your All My Links doesn't have Twitch in. Ah, I should probably put that there. I'm contemplating if doing both is the best. It depends. Like, it takes up a lot of bandwidth, right? So we'll see. We'll see. But it's once a week, right? It's once a week. We're not trying to be like, who's a really popular Twitch 3D artist. We're just doing this for fun. You get to see me be a potato, failing to snap things and learning my way around Blender, not using shortcuts. And in return, your trade offer is lighting knowledge or environment art knowledge when we get there. Yeah, I don't mind looking like a potato on stream. It's all fun. Shortcut key to isolate select. So if I want to show this mesh and hide everything else, what is that in Blender? It was Alt H in Maya. So nice to find that out. Let's check Google unless someone catches up on the YouTube. I'll add that to all my links. Daily Dally. That's a good call. Oh, really? Oh, it's such a weird hotkey for me. Interesting. It zooms in on it as well. Or definitely. Daily Dally. There we go. I got a question. Can Blender not rotate around a specific object? Because I'm doing F, I'm doing Shift F, which is frame selected. But usually, if you did that in Maya, you would rotate. Oh, now I do. Well, I'm kind of on. It's kind of on the piss. The slash command's really strange for me because it's so far off the keyboard. And what's the opposite of that? Is it slash again? Okay. Maybe I can put that on mouse 4. I might put that on mouse 4. I might put it on mouse 4. We'll stick to slash for now because I'm trying to. Last time I went against the hotkeys, it kind of broke stuff. So setting navigation. Oh, okay. 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 Orbit around in navigation. Ooh. Wait. So slash. Oh yeah, that's it. See, you guys are my teachers. Join you guys. That's perfect. Yeah, okay. And I guess that does it with Shift F now. So if I do that, okay, yeah, that's way better. Cool. Yeah, Q menu is good. I lost most of the Q menu last week because Malwarebytes was deleting my preferences and guarding against it. But so far, we have all transforms. We need to add the mirror modifier to here as well. I think normal's flip. We'll be gradually adding stuff in here as well. Yeah, I might stick to 3ds Max. Yeah, stick to whatever you're being taught with. That's the best. And then just transition later on. Save the preferences. Is that through here? Startup file, or is that different in here? No, I found it. Never mind. Well, it says auto save on, but I'll click save just in case. I have a question for you guys. In Maya, if I select this face and I shift double click that face, it will grab all the faces in between it. But if I shift double click, it's selecting like them horizontally. So oh wait, apparently there we go. It's control click. There we go. Okay. See there, we're finding our way. Cool. How do you feel about Blender not letting you edit primitive settings after you click off the primitive? Maya's the same. I come from Maya, so I'm not used to modeling with 10 modifiers at once in such a parametric way, so I don't really mind. If you come from Max, it's probably more of an issue. Good advice, Cat. Alt-N opens the normal menu. Again, Alt-N is... Give me arthritis. I can't use Alt-N because I've enabled Alt for rotating. That doesn't work for me. Coplanar feature also. Control, yeah, that's what I did. Control click, and that worked like a charm. Thank you very much. Thank you. Right, so at the moment, right, proportions. Someone told me you can paint on this. Yeah, you can. So proportion-wise, there's a much. This is how I start to line up stuff, right? When I block out, I'll block out. I'll get the base forms in. Then I look at the distance between stuff. So the distance between here and here, right? And this is great for when you're blocking out proportions. It's much wider than what we've got, so we need to make two decisions, right? We're currently on a 1 meter snap. So if we go for this sort of spacing, we're going to lose a 1 meter snap unless we make the pillars shorter. So we can either use the snaps that we've got, or we can kind of break our 1 meter rule because it would be fine in this area to do that because this pillar is basically going to hide the seam, which is amazing. Now, if you don't have pillars, you always have to line up on 0 to 1 in the UVs. If you have a pillar, you can just break that rule. So we might break the rule. It depends what type of videos we want to do with this project that we're working on. But it's, you know, something you can consider in the blockout phase as well. When you get this blockout finished, is the plan to bring it to ZBrush? Just sort of learning the workflow. So it's not going to be brought into ZBrush in terms of the meshes. Like the meshes for this scene are basically going to be mid-poly, chamfer sort of workflow. Because when you have something like this, right, there's no need for you to do a high poly model on the geometry itself. What you want to do is you want to make high poly textures and bake them down as not as sort of, you know, flat textures and materials. None of this really justifies. Maybe like if it had a hero piece on, you would maybe the hat. But we're just blocking out this right side for now. We're taking it easy. We're scoping down. We're going to block this out, do a proper block out pass, lighting pass, and then later in the year, with how long this will take, we'll start learning Substance Designer properly, and we'll make some materials for stuff like that. I can spawn a cylinder in Maya, scale it, rotate it. You can do that, Dali, but eventually you won't be able to, because in Maya, if you let the history build up too much, it's going to lag, and eventually you do something to the model where scaling the segments won't work. So after a while, having the it works in max decently, but it doesn't really matter that much if you can keep the settings or not, in my opinion. So yeah, trims and tilables. No need for high poly geo. An argument can be made for the arches. Like these could be sculpted. Usually you do that with corner pieces and things that pop out, but again, just really depends. But we're going to do it for trims because we want to make some trim tutorials in the future, right? So that's what we'll do. That is what we'll do. Oh, that's nice. That hotkey is nice. It does it in edit mode as well. You like that? Gotta get used to using the hotkey for snap here. Okay, could get used to that. I might change it to a mouse keybind. It was a completely different continent. Where my hands are on the keyboard. Yeah, mesh painting in Unreal on nanite. That's the gold right there. So we can do some proportion stuff now, right? The pillars are too thick. Cool. Just scale this in. Remember to scale in from far away so we can scale in. Mass material cost and good information for translucent. Well, that'll be good. Yeah, there's a lot about nanite, lumen, all that sort of stuff that is it's very very technical for sure. I want a little bit of an overhang here. I don't want these two so close together, even though it is in the concept. For now, we'll leave it so. So this is what I'm thinking at the moment. I'm thinking Control D for. I'm thinking. I'm looking here, and I'm looking up here. And I'm looking at the distance. I'm looking at mine. I'm like, okay, that needs to be taller. And if you keep comparing like the distance between elements, which is where this sort of Blender crayon mode helps, right? Until you add your own materials, you'll be able to sort of start getting your proportions. So I wonder if, let's see if it likes this. 2 objects into object mode. Like, okay, it does like that, just like Maya. Oh, we missed a vert because we need to be in X-ray mode, I believe. Can't select. We'll just lift that up a little bit until we get it roughly right. I mean, we could model over the image, but with something like this, just may as well just use your eye. You know, it's not the most complex thing. But yeah, modeling over images can be an option in some cases, especially if it's a prop and it's complex. So feels like luckily a lot of the video papers have come out. So what is the mass material cost? So you want to when are you on about if you have nanite meshes and you paint on them with Vertex painting, the masks that go into that, or yes, that's going to be a separate. What's happening? That's fine. We don't need to worry about optimization right now. Our window is a bit fatter in width, so to sort of squish that in either with a modifier or start again with the two faces. It depends. But for now, it's fine. But we'll take a note of it. The distance between here, yeah, this is fatter. And it can be like, it depends how much you want to match the proportions. I generally try and match as much as I can, but some people will just they'll make their own version. It's really up to you, right? How free you want to be with it. But for this one, we are going to want to match a lot of the proportions, in my opinion. So we'll sort of, see what we can do with that. Shouldn't turn that off. Thanks, Noel. Good to see you again. Oh, a pasty mask. Yeah. Yeah, or even you make the leaf, right? That seems to be the thing nowadays. You don't use the alpha, you make the actual leaf. So seems to be the play. Say. Ah, good to see you as well, Neil. Yeah. It's always good to stream every Thursday. The days it comes fast, The day does come fast. I'm not gonna lie. But it's good, and the VODs are saved as well, so you get to see me like if you compare like what we're doing now to the very first week of Blender, bit by bit, we're getting a bit more efficient, right? So the comfort level goes up week by week, all that sort of stuff. So there's a slant in here, and there needs to be more of a gap. I think there needs to be more of a gap anyway, because well, it's not that tight of a gap, but we probably want to make the wall a bit longer. In all honesty. Oops. Any of you guys been doing anything eventful this week? Mixed review of students, professionals, hobbyists. What's going on? Your world. So Work always? What do you mean? It'd be ah, per force to sync. Yeah, yeah, that's a mood. That's definitely a mood. I assume this is unless you have your own per force. I think having your own per force would be cool, but I don't know the logistics. It's probably the production per force, right? Last week or so, I've been writing a small story for a contest. Oh, that's awesome! 1K prize. Oh, best of luck on that. What's the What's like the what is it roughly in like what's the story about? What's the moral of it? What have you gone for? Story. Modeling, yeah, yeah. I've seen the stuff you've been making, Leah. It's looking cool, and we'll have a look at it well, on here on the VOD, or if you're here in the next. Please lose track of time. Where's it at, by the way, Jay? If you can't say, it's all good. No worries. You can make. Oh, I would like a Perforce server for myself, to be honest. And not gonna lie, I would kind of like one. So the wood beam is almost like it's almost in the center of this stone. So we can interpolate that how we want, right? So I think it does make sense if we kind of make it in the center. Personally, just for now. Actually, before we do that, let's fix. We don't want it wonky for now. Go into the grid, you fucker. Just turn grid off for now. Need to find a hotkey for that. Shortcut. What is it, Maya? Set that. Need to hotkey this up here. I know it's Alt drag, but it's a bit not as fluent, it seems. I don't know. You have to really whip it. Keeps going to the side. It could be just my muscle memory. Well. Oh, you work at D3T? That's cool. Do you this was like equal. This is not snapping how I imagine it to. Oh, that's why. We ticked the wrong thing. That's why. Do you this is where we compare cool people that work there. Still not snapping how I want it to. So your origin is in the middle of this wood pillar. So I expect your origin to snap into the middle of that vertex. But it's not. So I need to look at why. Do you know Roger by any chance? The lighter. Have you found Blender? I'm always used to his trained in Maya. I was the same in well, I went to lighting, right? So I didn't really do much Maya stuff after after I stopped teaching at the uni. but I used Maya for 10 years, used it professionally as well, and stuff. I've been using Blender for 3 weeks, doing a few hours off stream and then stuff on the stream. You should see the stream 2 weeks ago. I didn't know any hotkey or anything, couldn't rotate around it, and we're still struggling now. But we're making things a bit more. So the comfort level's going up for week 3. So I honestly would say if you're already a professional, a month, and obviously if you're using it every day, a month, you'll be pretty comfortable in it, is what I'd say. It's in the snapping mode. You can choose how it snaps. So I have it on Vertex, but the origin is not going, so it's probably setting in there, right? So summing up stories based in Spain, 1500, set in Navarre during the conflict between Kingdom of... Oh my god. It's about a duchess. Through planning and plotting, man finds a way for women removed from any political conflict to have voice. It has traces of Navarrese, am I saying that right? Mythology. That sounds crazy good. I don't even know what half those words are. That sounds amazing. Best of luck on that. It sounds really cool. Yeah, best of luck, Neil. Let me know how that goes. We get a placement on it, so are they like first, second, third, or stuff like that? Save me, Perforce save me. Hi, would you ever have a video of a full environment piece? I haven't done a full environment in a while. I've been a lighting artist for the last few years. So the goal of these streams is to eventually make something that we can learn from. But I'm learning right now. I'm not in teaching mode. Other than little tips, I'm in super learning mode and trialing and error. You get to see like the bare bone trial and error of me trying to use a new program. Yeah, Roger's cool. Are you a 3D artist, environment artist? When snapping to vertices, check the little box next to the snapping toggle and save it to active element. Did I save it to active element? Active element, vertex, origin is in the middle of the green, moving it to the pillar. Still a bit scuffed. There's a lot of chat coming in. Cool. The tabs at the top of the stepping menu. Perforce coming in clutch. Yeah, Perforce is great. I like Perforce a lot. We spend a lot of time researching and rewriting. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of research needs to go into something like that. That sort of context for it sounded awesome, Neil. Because I've been snapping stuff a lot when I've been working downstairs, and it's always worked out how I wanted it to. So I am curious, because that is expected behavior. So I want to really make sure. That's going to bug me. That is going to bug me, sure. Yeah, the thing I'm trying to do, I've done it. I'm sure I've done this downstairs. Now my fucking... Oh, we're crashing? Are we? Oh no, we're not crashing. Okay. Oh, we're crashing again. Like randomly... oh, that's interesting. So you're going over there. Why are you going over there? So this should be center pivot. Applying transforms... Okay, that's interesting. So when you applying the transforms resets this to 0, 0, where I was under the impression applying transforms was like freezing transforms in Maya. Snap base in the snapping tab, you can set it to active. Snap base in the, you can set it to active. Aha. Okay, moment of truth. Boom, that's what we wanted. Perfect. Perfect. That is what we wanted. Now that is behaving how I expect it to. So, closest center median active. It seems as though you'd want active most of the time because I'm just used to snapping and hovering over the vert in screen space. But there's lots of little buttons up here that are very interesting, to say the least. Applies to the 3D cursor. Interesting. So how can you freeze something or clear or apply something that isn't based off the 3D cursor, or can you not? I'm feeling better now about these proportions. The arch is still a bit too wide, but the pillar here is feeling a lot better. So I'm going to make a mesh. It's obviously going to go to the 3D cursor, so I probably want to think it is select Shift S. Cursor to selected. There we go. So if I make a cube now, this should make. There we go. Yeah. Cool. So catch up on the chat. Interesting meaning, overcomplicated. Yeah. Control A, just apply. So all transforms will sending it to the center world, even though the pivot's there. But scale and rotate. Guess that's probably it. So let's keep that there. We don't need it on the hot. Making a brew. Yeah. So let's block in not the upper floor, but let's block in the upper window, and then the wall can come afterwards, and then the roof. Because all we need really is one strip for the most part, and then we can just refine from there and take it nice and slow. No need for critics, is what I'd say. So let's have a think. So I'm looking at where this is, and it almost ends with the alignment of the. Oh, you can hold shift. That's amazing. So it almost lines up if you take in mind perspective as well to there. So we'll maybe have it go a little bit past in where this lines up. And this is just the stuff I think in my head when I block stuff out. I spend a lot of time blocking stuff out and getting it right, and then that gives you an easier production. The donut tutorial, yeah, I haven't done the donut tutorial. One day. Applying scale is all you need most of the time. I guess that's true, especially if you work on something that's 45 degrees, right? Yeah, Pure F's nice. Miro's nice as well. Why does it go flip so far? Must be the behavior of it. Yeah, you refuse to do the donut tutorial? A lot of people say that. I don't really think this will be my donut tutorial, right? Donut's way too complicated for me to make. I'm an hobbyist environment artist now. I make boxes and put textures on them. Don't need to be making no donut with no sprinkles, none of this nonsense. Don't need it. If it's beyond the box, I ain't making it. That's true, John. Buddy of mine, no names will be said, has sent me a few links to those. Some good ones on the YouTube as well. So, no, sure, I've lost my quick menu for that. So let's add it back. So for context, last week Malwarebytes was really slowing down my PC. We didn't know why. It actually crashed Blender, made the internet very slow, and we lost all the preferences we did at the time. And it was because Malwarebytes had a free trial of Real-Time Defender on, which is kind of breaking everything. So, but now we're good. No long saves on the beach. None of that stuff. Good. We're good. Symmetrize that. Get the equal spacing. Yeah, Fast Track has a lot of good tutorials. Yeah. There's this one guy that does Blender tutorials. He's like a hard surface guy. I saw him years ago. He just has like the most epic, deep voice ever. I'm not even going to try and mimic that voice. I could try, but it's gonna. I always end up sounding Russian. Like, welcome to Blender. He's got like a Russian. I don't know what his accent is, but his accent is so cool. He's like, uh, you want to make this hardcore sci-fi canon. He's just got the deepest voice ever, and he's like, you probably suck for a reason, and this is how you don't suck. He's like full on like hardcore about it. It's amazing. He's probably like, I bet people know he's probably like the famous hard surface artist. I always found his videos kind of funny in that way, that he's just like, oh, you are shit, you can do this. Oh, well, I am. I don't know what his name is, but I just know he's got the deepest voice ever. So but no, I don't think we need to do any major series of tutorials. I'm just gonna waddle my way through it, pretty much. So let's quick menu mirror, because unlike Maya, the mirror tool in here is actually pretty cool. Maya's is pretty shocking. TBH. Huh? Say that. Wait. Uh, the deep hard surface guy is pretty terrible. Pont Ryuri. I don't know. Hate that guy. Any recommendations for also hard ops? That's that. Yeah, I'm not. We're not going for any hard ops or box cutter or machine tools anytime soon. I kind of want to take a fundamental approach. And like I said, I make boxes and arches. We don't need to be making those complex models. They hurt me. They make me cry. Yeah, we're slowly getting with the shortcuts. I like the quick menu as a lot as well. This is gonna get. We'll add a bit more over here with repeating things that we keep adding. So we've just added the mirror, and sometimes I like the quick menu. Sometimes I like this slash command. I think this is cool, but it's so out the way for me to click that I'll probably bind that to. Well, mouse 1 is X-ray. Mouse 2 is wireframe. Maybe I'll bind it to actual middle click. But I do like how it zooms in on it. That's pretty cool. I know that you can't get that in Maya's. So I do like that. I'm curious, how much does this remember? So if I click slash and I spend 2 hours modeling this and hit slash again, will Blender remember that, or is it only a certain amount of operations? I think I have UV Packmaster. Someone recommended Zen UV. I think those two I have. Oh yeah, I don't use full. That's the first thing I changed. I don't use full stop. I use F and Shift F because that is one thing I am definitely not sticking to. The full stop, that is painful for me. The I zoom in with F and Shift F for select. That is the one thing I do need from Maya. You'll remember infinitely. That's awesome. Yeah, I like that slash command. That's cool. Cool. Good. Good. So what were we doing? We mirrored, so we have equal distance. So would we want to mirror these two, or would we want to duplicate them? Because we're only working on one slice for now, so we just need the one slice. I like the animation. I do like it. Like, I kind of like that. But especially for game stuff, has great stuff for making trim sheets, a bunch of advanced things, fixing UV. Yeah, I've heard UV Packmaster is pretty good. Yeah, I use GRS, but I still use the gizmos as well because I like them. Like this, it's less piano on the keyboard. You know, it's like G, Y, and then move, or I could just grab the gizmo. So that's just a preference thing for me after like using Maya so much. Yeah, no worries, Hollis. That's what we're here for, to learn. Give you tidbits of info, and in return, I receive blenderness. So ZenUV works directly with UV Packmaster, so it's great. You need to connect them. That's cool. Yeah, UV Packmaster and ZenUV, I get quoted those a lot. So for sure. I've been making game environment art for 5 years now, but still have a tendency to make objects in a minimal objects as possible. Now, how do you mean? Oh yeah, for like edge selections, GG stuff like that. Yeah, for objects like this stuff, I prefer the gizmos. But yeah, I use GG for sliding edges and stuff a lot. I also like using like SZ0. So I use them as a mix. I'm in like a hybrid, scuffed hybrid mode. I'm just trying to think of how I want to do this. This is where we might deviate from the concept, because we want to make it modular for future videos when we talk about stuff. You change the color in here. There's got to be a way you can change the. Not always green, is it? Blender sculpting feels really good. Okay, cool. And well, I'm definitely not going to pay for ZBrush again, because that shit's way too expensive as an environment artist. So maybe Blender sculpting will be it. They sped it up, made brushes. Cool. Oh, sorry. I have like a tendency to make everything in as minimal separated meshes. Oh, you mean like modeling out of a watertight mesh? Yeah. Okay, so there are times where that's good, especially in props, but in environments, the more you can separate into logical Lego bricks, the better, because Unreal likes that as well. It has like a few rendering benefits, but the more you merge together, the less flexible it's going to be. So you can crash stuff into one another all the time. It's fine. Good to have Q Cut short. I have set to origin. I have apply scale, I think. Cursor to selected, I use Shift S, but maybe I'll move it. Check normals. I'll probably put that one on there. I love how Sir Wade, the animated guy, changed over the months when he first tried Blender. I never thought Blender was terrible. I used to meme. I basically like back at university, use Blender, but no, it's always been it's free and it's got a lot of good stuff. So the whole software war thing is silly anyway. Like at the end of the day, if your studio can let you use whatever you want because it's an FBX DCT pipeline, use it. But if they tell you to use Max, use Max. Tell you to use Maya, use Maya. Tell you to use Blender, use Blender. Use whatever you need to. But in terms of personal life, yeah, I am all in on Blender because I don't want to pay £300 or whatever it is a year. Especially as I do the Patreon and YouTube stuff. It's never worth getting caught with a pirate version of a software. So that's why use what's available for free. I forgot what I was doing now. I lost my train of thought. I've been sculpting with Blender for the last year instead of ZBrush. Had to make some custom brushes, but now it pretty much comes vanilla. Cool, that's good. Really impressed. That's really cool. Yeah, I did the most minimal you could do in ZBrush. Trim dynamic, trim smooth border, noisemaker. you know, your typical sort of environment art approach. So slot in, chunks, that's an end chunk, and then we'll come into a middle chunk. That can't stick out, and then that'll separate, and then that'll be the same. Okay, yeah, we can do it that way. Co-workers transition, but they find it hard to go from Maya to Blender. Yeah, if you don't have to go to Blender, why would you? You know, if you're happy in Maya and you have a license for it and you use it professionally, there's no need. I say everyone's got their own reasons, right? Yep, Beyond Extent's a good place to get some environment art stuff as well. Dynasty. Well, there's a number of folks out there. Polygon Academy. He doesn't make videos anymore, but he's got some really good stuff. Still on his YouTube. Yeah, I'll eventually be looking into Designer for some of this stuff. This is basically going to be the Blender Designer vertical slice, you know, sort of chill strum. Because I could come on stream and just light, but that's kind of boring because I kind of know how to do that. So the Blender, I don't really know what the best ways are. That's why we do this. Substance Designer, haven't used that a lot, so we'll just improve as an artist by doing that stuff right. So let your dreams be dreams. Wait a minute. Yeah, like people making like actual 3D models out of Designer. A quick way to, I should have really no, I don't want. Oh, okay, so if you copy and paste that, it bakes the drawings in. Oh no, the drawings are baked in anyway. I guess once I draw on it, I'm committed? Question mark. Am I committed? Oh no. Probably a shortcut key for that, but I should probably duplicate it. I've been learning Blender seriously for the past year. Started 2 years ago, doing well. Haven't got hired yet. It's going to take a lot longer than 2 years, so don't worry about it. It takes a long time, especially in today's job market. How much time does a building like this take with a good amount of details? It depends. If it's part of a bigger game, it could only take a few days because you've probably got the textures ready already. If you're making it from scratch, complete from scratch, probably like a few weeks. But you probably wouldn't make the textures for this anyway. If you're in a game studio, it would be a different department. Yeah, that's true, Leah. You can indeed. Working on a new game at work, honestly, it's hard to find energy for personal stuff. Yeah, I feel you, John. That's why I put these streams on. It kind of forces me to do at least a little bit of stuff each week. That's why I'm not doing lighting. If I did lighting at work and I came home and did lighting on the streams, there isn't like this. There isn't much for me to kind of. I've explored a lot of the personal work avenues with lighting, right? But with this stuff, I haven't done this sort of stuff in a while, right? Since I taught it, so this is definitely way more challenging, and I'm learning a lot from it compared to lighting, where I can, I do that at work, so I get, all the challenges and stuff there. So I don't want to do the same thing when I come home. That's cool, Jeremy. Well, if you have any queries, Jeremy, feel free to throw them in the chat. There's a lot of professionals that watch stuff as well on here. We usually have like 6-7 people each week coming in and chatting, so it's a nice little 3-hour chill, essentially. Hey, there's Mark. Hey, Maxim. Oh no, I'm gonna say your name wrong. Ativ. I'm really bad with names. Dude, Mark, that's cool, right? I can get that. But then it's like I'm really bad with some names. I always end up butchering them. I just started my own environment art project. Gotta say thank you for providing information on trim trees and blockouts. No problem, V. Let me know how it goes with your project. Come by and say hello each week, and we know how it's going. I work in the studio, 40 people, 4 environment artists. Each of us makes something from scratch, which I really do enjoy, except for some trim reats. That's cool. Yeah, 40 people's, that's quite a small studio. They have a nice feeling, those smaller studios as well. But yeah, you do a lot more in those. In a lot of the bigger studios, you generally won't do the texturing. Wait, were you typing on Twitch before, Mark? Because it's all just been all YouTube chatters for the last 20 minutes. I do think, though, this is the second week where a lot more people are active on the YouTube. And the stream, I'm not trying to be like a streamer or anything, so this is more for just like community. I'm not streaming every day, so I don't know if it's even worth streaming to Twitch next week. You know, we can save bandwidth and just stream to YouTube because it saves the VODs. Oh yeah, yeah. So you would have typed like an hour ago, well, 40 minutes ago. I work as in 3 years. Yeah, yeah. That is definitely true, Mark. Especially for lighting. Like lighting artists is more of a technical role, in my opinion, than an artistic role. It has artistic elements, but the technical, in my opinion, outweigh much more than the artistic. So I agree with that. Cooking dinner. What dinner are you making? Yeah, Jay's right about the selection, right? So you pretty much, we haven't really done a plan for this one yet. We'll probably will do one day, but I did cover like how you plan for a trim sheet on a video before and tilables. But you would have like, you know, you would color in, right? You'd color in this image. This isn't going to be good enough for it, but you would take it into like Photopea or Photoshop, and you would select around these and just color them in with a transparent color. And then you would visualize basically what the textures are going to be, right? So I can't color this in because it's not meant for it. But you know, you'd put all the wood probably on one texture, probably as a trim sheet. You'd put the roof as like a big tileable. You'd put the stucco as probably a tileable as well. The glass would be a separate shader separated from the mesh. The foliage, you use Megascans. So yeah. Color overlay. Look at the trim sheet planning video I did. We actually color over some reference. That's always the way I would recommend sort of you know, doing it. Oh, what's happening? What's happening? You know what? Let's learn our new hotkey /. There we go. Ah, we don't have snaps on. Probably why. Is auto merge on? Not that. That's one thing I need to add to here because we lost it last week. Is the actually no, it's just through right click menu, I think. Yeah. Yep, cool. Flash again. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. She's starting to get somewhere with this. Starting to look like something. We need to adjust the materials. Need to get away from this crayon sort of look. And we haven't done materials yet. Maybe we can start. When I say materials, I mean flat colors. We do have something called matte stone though. Maybe we did make one last week. You won't go over 5 materials for this. Didn't see the cobblestone. Yeah. The roof. I'm blind. It's alright. I'm zoomed in on it anyway. You got to remember, right? The materials you make for this house are going to be used all over the game. So when you make a house like this, you want to assume that this is for like a fable or whatever. There's going to be loads of other houses, so you'll just have as many materials as you need to just use on this building as tilables. Baked potatoes with salmon, creamy chives. Oh, damn, that sounds good. Your technical artist will let you know, yep. Yeah, trims and materials. And then there's shader stuff you can do on top of it, which is a different sort of layer of stuff as well. 20 minutes until we look at the weekly Patreon work. Try and get a bit more of this in. I think it'll be a good time now to figure out how to apply materials properly. If I remember correctly, Backface Culling didn't like it when it was in. Oh no, yeah. So Backface Culling doesn't like it or isn't available when you're in viewport shading. So got to be a way. How do I change the name? We can't color drop from Blender onto stuff outside the window. Or can we? Oh, we can, I think. I think we can. Let's try again. Keep losing it. No, we lost it again. No, we can't. I can't tell because is that grey? Maybe we can. It just doesn't show the icon. There's a shortcut key for that. No. It's just what we were sampling, the wood. There we go. Oh, I guess you can. That's cool. Check the chat. Yeah, modeling grey is good. Eventually, you want to break it. You want to have a mode where you can see the colors as well and go in between. Helps a lot in the blockout as well in Unreal. Thanks for sharing all this. I've been modeling Blender for years, but only starting to learn the best practice for UVing. There we go. Very misleading. What is misleading? Slay. Slate. Slate-th. Wanted to make a tech artist happy. Apply them all with a single texture and pack of grey. When I started with textures, I was so confused how people were able to have multiple materials or only one draw call. Yeah, usually when we used to teach, we'd tell people to break this concept down into flat colors, blur it, all that sort of stuff. So oh, I see. It activates the HDRI. I guess it's okay. I mean, it's going to go into Unreal eventually, but I guess it's an indication of things. Oh, Is there a Studio Tomarco? This looks like the closest to Studio Tomarco. I like the cavity view. I don't have it on world. I don't like having it on world because it gives you these like really weird high pass areas on flat faces. But screen seems to just apply to the edges. And this is cool because eventually we will have chamfers and we will have highlights on here. But it's a nice little touch. I like it. I don't mind it, you know. Get rid of you. Ah, yes, that's what we need as well. I'm going to change that to the Maya hotkey. Perfect. What up, Anvil? We're going to sculpt eventually. Probably not. We'll probably make high poly textures. There's nothing really here that justify. Maybe these arches. We'd sculpt maybe two of them. And when I say two of them, I mean we would sculpt like 2 bricks. There's nothing else here really that justifies. Well, we're only doing this right side. We're not even looking at the left side yet. There's nothing really here that justifies sculpting the geometry because it's all going to be mid poly. Essentially, just chamfered boxes with trims on, but those trims may be sculpted through Substance Designer. Ah, Jeremy, super. How you doing? Yeah, week 3. How are you doing, buddy? Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. Hi, Jen. How you doing? Yeah, this is week 3. Week 1 was really slow. Week 2 we had an issue with firewall crashing the blender. Week 3 things are starting to feel a little bit more comfortable, but not quite. Are you sick? Oh, sorry to hear that, man. But yeah, it's been a while since I've done 3D. So I wasn't going to buy the Maya license. So yeah, doing this whilst being a lighting artist now is quite a nice mix, as opposed to just doing lighting all the time. So we're going to use this as a gateway to just learn some designer and just build up our overall skill set. Does YouTube let you send links in chat? I don't know. Oh, Jeremy, if you are still here, I remember. I remember. God, what was it? It must have been like 7, 8 years ago. It used to have a different Twitch name, right? It used to be called like Fro something. Bro, I don't know what it was. Something FRO. I remember you were making this like medieval cart, and it was like I was like, "Yo, how you doing?" And you're like, "Hey, what's up?" And then we were just talking about this medieval cart. I don't know. I just remember that from such a long time ago. Now you're like super streaming it up and all that sort of stuff. Dynasty Empire. So it's Frozen. Yeah, Frozen. Yeah, I remember you did that cart, and it's cool to see. I think at that time you were waiting for might have been waiting for your visa actually or whatever. You said you were waiting months for something. So it's cool to see. Cool to like see where you've come in that time, man. And it's good to chat to you as well. I feel that's interesting sometimes. You see people that make content and you kind of see them all the time, or you leave comments on their stuff, and then actually get to chat to someone. It's cool. Yeah. So yeah, we're keeping most of the Blender hotkeys because that's what the recommended thing is. We're avoiding most add-ons for now, just to get the fundamentals down. And the stuff we make here, we don't stream much, right? It's once a week, every Thursday, for 3 hours. Eventually, this will form some video content for a blockout process and lighting. So it's good to have some resources for that as well. Hey, everyone, how you doing, buddy? Using cube maps in post processes takes most of the work. What do you mean, Slate? We just missing a proper lighting artist. They're so hard to find. No one wants to move here. Yeah, no. Hey Joe, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, William Foucher's got some good stuff as well. Yeah, we're getting there with the hotkeys. There are some things that were a must change. So like F for frame. Um, this slash key will probably change that as well. Um, yeah, for the most part, we're keeping most of it the same for sort of navigation and whatnot. Oh, Jeremy, there's other things I remember as well, man. Like we'll have to have a chat sometime off stream because there's some other funny stuff as well. Yeah, how you doing, Joe? How you doing? It's good to see you again, buddy. It's me, John from uni. John from uni. Okay, hold on. There's so which uni? Staffs? Which John? I gotta get my head in the right space. There's so many. John from uni. It's gonna be like an aha moment. Um, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. Yeah, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I know. Yeah. When you say it's John from uni, it's like, give me a second. Yeah, John, how you doing, man? Your stuff's been really good recently. You've really leveled up over the last few years since I've seen you. So really good job, man. Really good job. Also, I don't know how many of you stream, but I don't know how you guys stream and model at the same time. It's like I just find myself rotating, and then I'll do like one shape, and then it will get done, and then it'll be like, oh, someone's chatting. It's like it's so hard to stream and talk, and it's got to be like a skill I got to develop. Yeah, Beyond Extent's really good. I say Beyond Extent, Dynasty Empire, EXP points, Polygon Academy. I know he doesn't really do videos anymore, but the stuff there is still like super awesome. So there's some really good stuff out there content wise. Well, Slovenia. That's awesome. I guess it depends what you mean by cube maps. When you say cube maps in the post process, do you mean like, are you talking about the HDRI, or there's so many like different ways to use cube maps that you know, it's not just like one thing, at least in my experience. Remember lighting. Yeah, HDRI is great for lighting. It's a great entryway in. I say entryway, but I use it all the time because when you use a physical sky, you change one setting, everything changes. But with a HDRI, you can change the directional light independently from the sky. Oh, 39 Celsius, damn, bro. Yeah, I hope you get well soon. It's pretty high temp. Yeah, get well soon, buddy. So we've achieved a little bit more. Proportions are looking a bit better. We are entering sort of the last half hour, which is the got some the regular sort of projects to look at from the Patreon. We'll work on this area next week, unless I do a bit off stream. But I try not to. Try to keep it one-to-one. And then I think from there we might look at the roof. Probably not the roof. We'll probably look at getting these two bits first. The roof is going to be a bit of a special case. Probably we might just do it as either, I don't know actually. It's been a while, but you know, this, maybe we'll do this as its own end piece, and then this bit. We'll see. But yeah, that'd be cool, Jeremy. We'll see what you guys recommend as well, because we decided that we're going to use like not 1 meter snaps, because the pillars are going to hide the sin. So you know, that'll be fun. Yeah, cheers man. Take care, Jeremy. Thanks again. What approach to take for roofs? Well, what I'm thinking is, when we make the roof, there's a few ways, right? You can make a straight piece, rotate it 45 degrees, instance it, straighten the instance, and work on the straight instance, and it will update the rotated thing. Because a lot of people dread working on rotated stuff because they're going to move a vert in a wonky way. So I usually do that. If I work on something that's rotated, I will instance a straight version of it and work on the straight version. So that's what we'll probably do with this, right? We'll probably make this straight, rotate the instance in place, and then work on the straight version. Cheers, Dandy. We're finishing up anyway. We're going to do some feedback for Patreon stuff. Have I missed anyone's chat? Yeah, we do, John. It's part of the Patreon stuff, so it's not like open access, because there's like Patreon only stuff on there, that's the sort of mini business side of it. But you can always just tune into these streams once a week. We have a pretty nice community here of 10, 15 people that are always chatting. So, it's cool. But yeah, that is the sort of money making side. I say money making side, trying to make funds to fund guest talks. All the money's going back into guest talks in the future for the Discord. So I'm interested in building a community and paying some professionals to come give some talks and all that sort of stuff. So we're in the first month of that, so it's going to build up over time. But yeah, it is past. So if you're new to the stream, the first 2 hours we talk, we chill, we model, we start modeling stuff, and then in the last half hour we always kind of look at some work from the Patreon. And the last few weeks we've been looking at the same folks post their work, and we're seeing how it develops. So that'll be the last half hour. So we'll have a look at some cool stuff. I'm still trying to find a good way to do this. So I think maybe if I hide the member list and we just look at the WIP Discord. Yeah, I think that's fine. So let's have a look at it. Now, this needs to disappear. Save it first. Control S. Close. So let's have a gander. So to give you some context, anyone that posts in the WIP channel around the stream time, we just have a look at some stuff. And we got a few folks working on some cool stuff. So you'll probably see Matty's stuff. He's a very procedural. He's just a wizard. Procedural workflows. It's amazing. And you'll probably see some stuff from Leah, who's doing an amazing sort of gameplay level, like big gameplay level that you can run through, that's been developing. And then there's a few other projects that are popping up here as well. Like I think we've got a classroom and some more blockouts. And I think Mark is going to be doing some stuff as well, which will be cool. So let's go to the latest work and let's make sure we find. By the way, this is a good way to plan trim sheets. It's like a sneak peek in, but yeah, this is you make your trims. Anyway, let's not get distracted. Lots of memes on here as well. So yeah. Matty's latest render, I really like this. I think I told you already, but for the sake of the Discord, John, it's part of the £5 tier, but it's not just Discord. It's like there's Patreon only stuff in there. There's that side of it as well. So yeah, it's mainly for Patreon, but you can just join the streams, and if you want the community side, you don't have to or anything like that. But yeah. Eventually we're going to have a workshop on here, which is soon, which will be good. Yeah, so for this, I really like the propping. What we said for this shot for Matt is high focal length, camera above the table, looking down into the table, 50 to 100 millimeters. That shot's going to pop even more, which is cool. The masks look cool. I know we talked about them last week, but it's cool to see the materials on them, especially once they get the second pass on them. And so some stuff from Leah. So updated my Miro board. Yeah, sure. Let's have a look. And you put the night. How was the night-day cycle? So you put the night-day cycle in there. I know what we recommended for that one was to stick to daytime. When you do your checks. So yes, nighttime's cool, but this is advice for anyone, right? If you're working on a scene that's nighttime or really moody, it's always good to have a daytime version to balance your props in, because you can often hide a lot of stuff in nighttime scenes. So what I do for yours, Lee, is just keep... okay. Why is that doing that? I'll see if I can fix it a bit. Always balance today and then do night afterwards. We call them asset zoos. Asset zoos are basically levels that have multiple lighting in, but usually overcast or daytime, where you sort of leave your work in as well. So this is cool. Use Blender as well, right, Lee? I think I've seen it pop up with Blender on the Discord when you use it. This is actually too. I should learn from you. Like I'm making some of these buildings. I'm going to steal your tech, steal the techniques. I'm like, this is my workflow now, Leah. Cool. Oh, are you doing photo matching? That's interesting. Spy is it F Spy? Spy X, that's the anime, right? Using F Spy for this maybe? Camera matching, interesting technique. It works though. It works. Cool. Yeah, probably put a few more in the arch. I know it's block out, but you saw how many we put in our arch for the block out. We could probably put some more in here actually, but yeah, get those segments in, and that'll be cool. Oh, black and white shots as well. Very cool. Let's have a look. You have a video as well. I know we have a video usually each week. Or will I see that when I scroll down? Oh, you never heard of F-Spy? Oh. I think it's specifically for Blender. They might have other versions as well. F-Spy, I've not done camera matching in a while, but when people use F-Spy, they're like, oh man, this is so nice. I haven't done camera matching modeling for a while, but most people will always highly recommend F-Spy. I mean, look at this. Usually it's a GIF. Yeah, you just plot these lines out onto the reference, and it will do it on your camera in Blender, and it will just let you, like, look, you just plot out the lines, and you can just make a shape, and it will start lining up. It's very intuitive. Yeah, I've not modeled from a match camera in a while. It's good though. Maybe I should try it, but yeah, F-Spy will be good for that as well. Yeah, matching on concept is always going to be scuffed because you never have the camera details, but you can get a long way with it. Matching by eye, like you don't have to be pixel perfect, and what you're doing here is fine. Like you're matching the general forms, but yeah, with concept, it's never going to be perfect compared to photographs. So there's the rest on. I'll keep scrolling down, but if I'm missing, I'll come back to your mirror. I'm just going to keep going in order now, but it'll be cool to see the video. But I guess the video's on the mirror, or maybe not one for this week. Let's see if I can log into this mirror actually. Usually auto logs me in. Sign in. Internet runs very slow when multi-streaming, so so these cameras, these are good. These are benchmark cameras, right? So these are cameras you're just gonna keep coming back to throughout the duration of your project, I assume. So I know we spoke about eventually you're going to want to focus on one area and make it look really good before doing the rest because it's such a big project. Maybe a shot like this would be good. Something where you see a lot of the buildings. That'll be awesome. But yeah, this will be a good way to, like, if you ever get overwhelmed with how big the project is, you just lock into one of these cameras and just focus on that for a while, or focus on a prop. But yeah, the vertical slice will be key for you doing this, getting one area looking really good, and then working on the other area afterwards. Yeah, it's all good, Lit. We usually get through everyone from the Patreon. That's good. Miro is being very slow for me, so I'll try and log back in a moment, Leah. But if you have any more, just drop it into here. What was the prop you were working on? Did I miss it in the chat, or was it this? I assume it was this. Yeah, it's looking cool. Just bring this arch up. Bring the edge of this arch up just a bit up. It's getting quite tight topology wise there. I'll send you an image later of the wireframes from Last of Us, that's a good sort of density or sort of area to go for as well. Took a quick stab at making uniform. Oh wow, what is it? Tablets in Marmoset, not ZBrush. Black and white stencil. About Skylight 2. Did you ever give the HDRI stuff a try, or are you still using I know we were talking about, ultra dynamic sky, which I think is a bit overkill for that, but the HDRI stuff might be good to look into. Might simplify it a lot. These look cool. Just be wary how noisy they get. I think you probably need a detail normal on these. So we need to check the texture density. They definitely need a detail normal. So detail normal is essentially a small normal map. There's a detail normal node in Unreal. You can put it over your current normal map. It just makes things look a bit sharper. Yeah, I think you need a little bit of noise on there. It's a bit too soft at the moment. The general read is pretty good though, outside of the detail normal it needs. You got reference of it? I guess it's on the Miro, which my Miro is just being very slow. Same for you, Matt. Just if you want to throw it in the whip channel, when I scroll down, that'll be good. So let's load up. Maybe I need to do that thing, boost the Discord channel. Need to do that. I think that gives me more power in the loading stuff. Cool. This is starting to shape up. You don't have that noise anymore. I don't know if that was solved by you switching the HDR, but it looks like that sort of path tracing noise has disappeared, which is good. This is so random. What's going on here? This cage. It looks like it was in there temporarily. Sort of cage thing. Cool. Yeah, we want to get a roof on here ASAP because that will affect the lighting and the HDRI. Yeah, this is going to be a good shot. You could probably go higher on focal length on this, even higher to get in. And when you have a high focal length, it forces you to make really nice props as well. And that can be a good change from just jumping around everywhere on a big environment. You can just sit down for a few days, just work on the candle and make it look awesome. And then you come back to the bigger picture, what you're doing as well. Noise is still there. You'll have to have a look at that as we go along. What are these orbs? They're a bit distracting. You want to be careful with your light sources because at the moment you're putting down a lot of light sources, and every time you put down a light source, you have to assume the player's like a moth or the viewer's like a moth. They're just gonna go. See you in a bit, Slate. Yeah, see you next Thursday, buddy. The more light sources, the more distracting, the more expensive it is as well. We probably wouldn't put this many lights on screen at once in a game. It's just too expensive. So I would either look at reducing these, which will reduce the distractions in the eye, and maybe just keep it to the Squid Game lampposts. If they're emissive only, that will help a little bit. But yeah, I personally think the fireplace should be the main key light. I think it should be super dramatic. It all feeds like to darkness, and then you got this, but you want to get the roof on first and just run around it. Record a video running around it like Leah does. That will really give some good context because this is a gameplay level essentially. It's not really locked to a camera, so you can just run around it and see how stuff feels. Yeah, you got some hero shots. I think so. This shot I like a lot, even if it has a higher focal length. I think this shot we can probably refine a bit more. This shot is probably you want to get more of the fireplace in. I think we could probably do a camera pass, lock in some more cameras on what we're looking at. And don't just base it off your reference as well. See what other sort of Victorian style environments and how they're rendered and how they look. I know for sure you can definitely get a close up of this table and of the fireplace and of the sofa. Like your world will change when you start using telephoto. I think wide angle, like a 18mm, 22 up to 30, that'll be good for establishing. When you start getting into the like 50mm, 100mm, 80mm, you're just gonna like find these. That's gonna make stuff like really quote unquote cinematic. Gonna compress a lot. So I think even a high focal length shot of your tablets here, looking up at them from below at an angle with like an 80mm, that could be really cool. You know. I often spend like just a whole day doing screenshots on my relights. Just 6, 7 hours just finding screenshots with cameras. Like you can get so much out with that, which will change the way your stuff looks. Like this is, even though this is a work in progress camera, it's just like too much of a wide angle, in my opinion. So I think looking at these three, camera maybe down near the fireplace, pointing up, high focal length. I think that'll look pretty good. But yeah, do be wary of the light sources. You're adding quite a lot as you go. Lighting can get expensive that way. But it is really coming on, man. Look how far it's coming along each week. Like, it's some good stuff, man. Especially with the procedural stuff. Like, most of your stuff is coming out procedural, which I think that for GIF format is going to be amazing. You know, on your art station, having MP4s of you using procedural sliders to do stuff will be ace. Yeah, beware of the lighting, detail normal on tablets, camera pass, and then keep refining. We will have a look at the lighting sometime in the future. I think we could probably find out what's happening with the noise. But for now, keep going. This is really good stuff, man. You're doing really well. Finally happy with texture density. Oh yeah, this looks refined. What is your texture density though? What was it a 512 per meter or a 1024 per meter? What did you aim for, Renzo? If Renzo isn't here, you can just watch the VOD. But yeah, this looks cool. It'd be good to know what texture density you're aiming for. Which reminds me, I am releasing a texture density video this week on Patreon. I do have beef with your UV checker. It is the most horrendous UV checker I have ever seen. I can hook you up with a UV checker. Like, listen, the only UV checker you need, Renzo, is... Let me find it. There's one UV checker I've used for years. Since the start of time. Since the start of the first polygon. This one. This UV checker is all you need. It is the S tier UV checker. This one. Yeah, that's right. This is a beautiful UV checker. You could sell this UV checker for millions in the future. It will be a relic of time. Yeah, this. Oh, that's what you want. I mean, there's loads here, but you know, this one is just, it's the GOAT. So I would change that UV checker. You'll be good. Also, as a nitpick, I would change it so the letters go the same way. Yeah, there we go, John. And if you're going for 2K per meter, just make a plane and make sure it's he's passing it to Blender. He's blaming the Blender. The Blender one is ugly as hell. It's like the 3ds Max one. The 3ds Max one is so ugly as well. Don't worry, bro. I got you. I'll send you this UV checker. Your life will change. Yeah, this looks great, dude. Very consistent. Very cool. Just get the letters going the same way. That'll be awesome. And state what it is. Like this, by the way, people don't post enough of this stuff on their portfolios. Like I know this is a work in progress shot, but these type of shots on a portfolio when you've done the work are key. So this is a good example. But yeah, good stuff, man. I like that. Yeah, got to change the UV checker, but that's really cool, Renzo. Renzo's been helping me. Renzo's a really we've known each other for a very long time, so he's been helping me out a lot as well in a few things. If mirror doesn't load, here's screenshots. Just let it load up. God Tower, cool. ZBrush Pass, okay, cool. Cool. Oh my god, this is old school. This is really old school. I know what this is. This is great. I first saw this probably back when me and Renzo were students. This whole thing of like you model into a roof so that it doesn't map at a 45-degree angle and blur it. This is great. I'm so glad you found this. This is one of the best things I saw. It's been on I think it's a Polycount wiki. Yeah, that's old school. For this, you probably want to sculpt like maybe 2 or 3 of these beams each. For the wood ends, you could make one wood end and just float it on top, so you don't have to have a wood end for everything, or you could just make it part of the beam. It's up to you how flexible you want to be as well. Yeah, this modeling to image looks cool. I'll try and log in the Miro once I get to the bottom, because it would be cool to see it on Miro. Yeah, cool. The orbs right away take my attention away, so I do think less lighting is better. Don't add too many light sources. But yeah, you've got so much like detailed asset work here that these close-up cameras are going to be key for you, for sure. Oh, did you do this just now? Yeah, man. Look at the difference of like when stuff flattens out. There are things you can do, right? You can temporarily like I will eventually do a sequencer video, but you can take your screenshots with sequencer where you can break a lot of rules. Like you can have a camera shot. When that camera shot is active, the back wall disappears. So you can zoom out more. Yeah, I'll show you all these tricks on the Patreon, don't worry. But yeah, look how much more detail you can see. Once you get a detail map on there, you're gonna be good. And once you frame it a bit more, you'll be good. Now, these noisy shadows, we really need to find out what's happening here. I think at some point, if you zip your file up, I'll take a look. And we'll try and find out what's going on, because it shouldn't really look like that. But yeah, the camera's changed everything, man. So good stuff. That's good to see. I want to try and log into the Miro again because I want to see Leah's board. It's asking me for a work email. I don't have a work email. What's going on? Oh yeah, this was really good. This brick wall came on very quickly. Oh, I'm on the Miro. Nice. Oh yeah, lots of memes. I know that all the memes. I'll make sure I covered this one. So yeah, this stuff was looking really good. I really want to see this on the blockout that you were doing. I don't think they're on the stream, but if they watch the VOD, it'd be good to have some more shots of that. Oh, we have the mirror up. Nice. Nice. Yeah, cool. I don't know if you would you does the reference show the bulbs behind this material? I would double check that. This floor looks great. We're going to need to check your albedo brightnesses as well at some point. You want to make sure your albedos are of a certain brightness. I suspect that some of yours might be too dark, especially this wall. So we'll have a look at that as well. I do like the stone tablets, you know. Considering you didn't sculpt them and you did them with stencils, they've come out really well. I think if you get a detail normal on them, they'll look even better. But you are missing, because you haven't sculpted it, you are missing where you have organic noise, and then you just have this perfect edge, you know, going all the way down. So that's the disadvantage you'll have by not. People are saying Blender's sculpting is getting good, so maybe that's the route. But yeah, your progress is really good overall. We just need to check the game dev side of stuff for yours. You know how to model. We just got to make sure it's in the right topology, textures are good, brightness, optimized. This cage is very. I know it's probably placeholder, but it's a bit weird at the moment. So we want to definitely have a look at that for sure. Yeah, cool, man. I don't know if you got around to doing that mask feedback yet, but that feedback still stands. So that's a few things for you to look at in the meantime. Yeah, I always just go by the same UV because it's very helpful for textile density. I'm going to cover that in a video for this sort of stuff anyway. What was Leah's mirror? I want to make sure I'm clicking that. Shore mirror. Losing where I am. Here we go. Oh, very organized. Right, Leah, where are we going? Show me the way. You have the mouse. And click your avatar up here. I'll see where you're looking. Where are we going? I've got to wait 40 seconds now for stream to catch up. This will be a good test of how long it takes for the chat to catch up with the stream. Aha! There we go. Mouse instantly. I like how yeah, it's like, look here, moving the mouse. Okay, so Blender, ZBrush, Marmoset. Post-process Photoshop, I would not do. I would change that to post-process Unreal. I'm going to watch how long it takes for your mouse to do that change after what I've just said. So let's count the seconds. Very cool. I love the fact you've broken this up into grids. I also like, I don't know if anyone's watching the stream, like the way you're moving your mouse, it's like, you know, when people are selling you stuff on those bid channels, you're like, and here you have the grid. You have the grid, buying, get it here now, cheap. We're gonna do this every week now. This mouse movement is amazing. Look here. Yes, look at it. It's shiny. Really good breakdown. Very cool modular overlay plan. Awesome. Some good showing off of your sketching skills there as well. Do I agree with this breakdown? I do. I think this looks cool. Awesome. Yeah, you probably want to do a trim plan for this as well. Just color over it where the trims will be. But cool. Oh, we're going on an adventure. Where are we going? Oh, we stopped. Is the adventure ended? Is this where we stop on the adventure? That's it, Matt. You got to level up your Miro game. Next week, we're clicking on your mouse. You are going to guide us through your Miro. This is it. This is the S rank. Leah's set the standard now for guiding around Miro, moving the mouse like whoa, whoa, like Jack Sparrow. Right, I'm going to come out of this. Yeah, this is awesome, Leah. So this, I really like this. This is really cool. Part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Which part are you going to pick to detail up whilst the other parts remain at blockout for, what we've recommended to do? Because this is very, very cleverly broken up. This is how it would work in video games. So the fact that you've already done this, how did you find out to do this? Was it just intuition, or was there some research you did? Because this is kind of how it works. You'd break these up into parts, and you'd be responsible for different parts with other team members, and this is really cool. I like this a lot. I would say you probably want to pick part 1, not this middle one, or maybe this tier 1. I wouldn't pick this one to do as your benchmark class. It's just too much. And maybe pick this one or this one, and then the others will come naturally from all the lessons you learn making this one. Because you're going to run into problems, you're going to run into solutions, and once you solve it all in one of these, you can then solve all the other parts. This is really cool. I like this. I like the grids as well of the images. That's really cool. Cool. Tower's cool. Yeah, this is awesome. If you find that you're breaking stuff up and you're struggling to fit it all into modular bits, you can just be even chunkier on your modular bits. I mean, like literally one roof, one middle, one base. If you're struggling to fit it all in, because sometimes you can be too modular, in my opinion. So if the chunkier your chunks of modularity, the better, in my opinion. Oh, cool. Yep. Ace, really cool. Really cool breakdown and process so far. Is there anything you're wondering about on this project that you would want answers to at the moment? There's some really cool projects being made here, man. There was a classroom one as well, but we've not seen it in a while. That was really looking cool as well. Hopefully next week. Yeah, the extent of the modularity. Yeah, you can be really modular, but you've got to remember that in Unreal you can literally merge modular bits together into a blueprint. As a prefab. So you can bring it in as lots of modular pieces, put them together, then prefab them. But I do think the chunkier the modularity, it's just a bit easier starting out. So I would definitely, like for that tower, you could probably get away with less parts if you wanted to in that case. So it's going to be trial and error. Yeah, you'll make your tower modular. Now, here's the thing when you make it modular. Anything that sits on top as a decoration doesn't need to be modular. So these wood beams, these horizontal beams, they don't need to be part of the modularity. You can just float them on top. Even to a degree, this window, I need to make one of these. You can just because it's not, you can just crash it in. It doesn't need to be modular. It can just be crashed in. Whereas obviously the walls and the roof and stuff, you'd want that. So yeah, have a test of your how modular it is compared to how annoying it is to work with too many kits. But yeah, I think big chunky pieces, the better. Like if I was doing this, you can chunk as much as you want up, but I would be like, you know, sabotage your board. I would start with, okay, what if this is just one big piece without the flag, without the chicken, without the plants, without this, because it can be floated in. And then can I just make the base as one big piece? And then this as one big piece, this, you know what I mean? So it's all up to you. But there are many ways to do it, yes. It's all trial and error. Take your time trying out different things and seeing what works better for you. Okay. You just Control Z that. Same for you, Matty. Mac. Keep going between Matty and Matt because your Discord name is Renzo and Matt. Is there anything you guys would like to ask before we close up shop? I'm going to go to war with this UV checker, Renzo. I think there's some good notes there for you guys to for both of your projects and then for yours as well, Renzo. I'm looking forward to seeing your coffin and stuff in the engine with this unwrapping and cameras in, like close-up cameras as well. That's going to be really cool. Yeah, no worries, Leah. Like I say, people are on the Patreon. People are on the channel anyway, the Discord channel, that are always replying to stuff. So it's got a nice little community there. So it's going to be really cool to see these two develop as well. And then we've got Renzo and we've got the classroom one. That'll be cool to see those well as we go forward. Cool. Yeah. So I think, what did we achieve today? So yeah, we made a bit more. We can look at the VOD back and see where we started. We're a lot more comfier than we were last week. A lot of people told me a lot of hotkeys, which was fun. I think next week we'll work on the upper level and then start duplicating it side to side, maybe using an array. I hear that's a cool thing. And then maybe a few weeks after that, work on the roof, and we need to put Manny in. We need Manny in for scale. And we'll go from there. But yeah, good stuff. Right, I think yeah, if I missed anyone or missed anything, I don't think I did, but if there's anything you want to follow up on, ask on the Discord. For all the people that came and did the regular visit, thank you very much. I'll see you all next week. If you're on the Discord, I'll see you there. But for now, peace. Came and did the regular visit, thank you very much. I'll see you all next week. If you're on the Discord, I'll see you.